Hi guys, in this video I am going to tell you a story, and this is going to be a series that I want to start on this channel, that I am telling you stories from all over the world. I am putting the laptop down because I don't even need it for this video. And now I just finished a coding session, so let's start. This story is going to be about Colombia, one of my favorite countries in the world. This story is not going to be a calm and easygoing story. It is going to be a wild one. So let's just start. As you may know, I have traveled all over the world and I have hundreds of adventures. And when I first time traveled to Colombia, I didn't have any money. I was just so interested in the country that I decided that with my $350 salary freelance payment amount that I just started earning on Fiverr, which I was very happy about it, because I finally had customers and I finally could communicate with buyers and stuff, and I learned a lot. But of course $350 is not a lot, but I decided that I am not going to continue to work for anyone. I am going to live off my $350 and I am going to grow my business, and that is exactly what I did. But so the story is that I bought tickets to Colombia with my girlfriend actually, and I gathered the money for the ticket to Colombia from Europe, from Madrid. And in Madrid, at the airport, I flushed down my credit card down the toilet, and I really rushed to the airplane because the aircraft was taking off in a few minutes, and I didn't realize at that point that I lost my credit card. I realized that on the plane when we were close to landing in Medellin, Colombia. I also got very sick, like insanely sick. My throat was very bad. I couldn't I could barely breathe because of my tonsils. So I was all over the place and I didn't have a credit card. Only my girlfriend had one single credit card, and I had that small amount of payment per month that I could do with freelance work. So we found the cheapest hotel near the airport that was $30, and the next day we headed to Barranquilla, and we realized that we don't have any money, so we are going to just sleep in a tent. The thing was that we started to look for tents in Barranquilla, in the outskirts of Barranquilla, because we walked from the airport. Every taxi driver said it's peligroso, it's dangerous, but we said, no worries, we know danger, but we really didn't know anything about danger. So we went ahead. We couldn't find a tent, so we headed to Cartagena with a bus. And in Cartagena we decided that we are going to go to this very, very remote place. Yeah, you heard it right. In Colombia, it's the first time in South America, and we are headed to a very, very remote place. Keep in mind, it was at the middle of the fucking night. And we had limited amount of money, so we knew that we are going to sleep somewhere in the woods, on the beach. And so we found a taxi driver and we asked, can you take us there? And he said yes, but he drove us to a completely different place. And he stopped somewhere, and a couple of guys with guns and stuff, knives, they approached us on motorcycles and asked us for money. And I had a total of 200,000 pesos. That is somewhere like around $50, like $50 maybe, or $60 at that time. And they were just looking at us like, man, it's crazy. You had this much money, only this amount? You are a tourist here in Colombia. And they didn't believe us, and they took all our money. And we So we only could go to a place that we want to if we pay them, so they protect us. So it was our first experience with this thing. It's like extortion or something like that. And they also took my phone, but my girlfriend was so intensive that they gave back her phone. I knew if I start to be aggressive or something like that, they are going to shoot us. But my girlfriend, she's very nice, she's small, so they were just like, man, like, your girlfriend is a little bit like, yeah, crazy, right? Can you calm her down? So yeah, they took us to a place. They also kidnapped the taxi driver as well, so they the taxi driver come with us to this remote location. And so we didn't have any money. Fortunately, I had money, just a tiny bit, so we could sleep in a very, very, very strange hostel for one night. But we knew that from there we don't have money. It was a little bit crazy experience because even water in that place was very expensive. So we were a little bit afraid, but it turned out, it was a great adventure. We were 20 years old, and we figured out that the next day we are going to hitchhike a banana boat, a small one, to go to the Rosario Islands. Like, we are going to try to do that because we don't have any money. Nobody wants to give us any money. We have one credit card and there is no ATM machine in 50 kilometers radius. Yeah, as I said, it was a remote place. And everywhere we go, locals told us that don't go there. You can't go there. I am not going to tell you where this place was, because for safety reasons. It was a strange place. And when we went to the woods, like randomly, just to have a picnic, to have a picnic, we realized that there is a guy with a machete with blood on his shirt, and he told us we can't go there. We should turn around right away. And I felt like it is an instinct. I felt that we should turn around and go the fuck away from there. But my girlfriend is like, in Spanish, like, why? And I said to my girlfriend, don't ask that question there. The next day, we hitchhiked a banana boat with two big fellas. And so we just hopped on the boat. They told us that they could bring us to the Rosario Islands, Isla Grande. And so we said, okay, let's do that. And it was because we asked on the internet, we asked one person on the island, just randomly on Facebook, like, is there an ATM on the island? And he said yes. Now, it turned out there wasn't an ATM on the island and we didn't have a single fucking peso. Yeah, so we continued our journey in the boat, and we're going through these mangrove forests, very abandoned places. But finally we arrived to Isla Grande. The water was so magnificent and we survived. Nobody kidnapped us with the boat. Nobody took our intestines. And, it was a good experience overall. Now, at that point, we were on Isla Grande, on the island. It is a very small island. If you have been there, it is insanely beautiful. Like, it is one of the most beautiful places on earth. And we were just looking around. We are in paradise, and we can't even book the smallest hostel. Unfortunately, it was a situation because of the guys with the motorcycle who took our money. But we survived. No harm, no physical harm to us. So we were lucky, we felt lucky, and the water was beautiful. It was a chill island. Everybody was going with bikes, not motorbikes, but bicycles, because there were no motorbikes on the island or cars. it was nice, but we had to figure out something. And one lady in a very tiny small tienda, like shop, offered us that she could lend us money for 20% interest rate. So we took on the offer, and we had, so at that point in pesos, we had $60 worth of pesos for 2 weeks. Figure it out, it is not much. And one bottle of water cost on the island, like, it was crazy. It was like $7 or something like that. So we drank Coca-Cola for 2 full weeks because it was cheaper. And we didn't have a place to sleep. And I had to figure out how to get money because we had to go back to the mainland because, for obvious reasons. And we found a bird watching station in the woods, and we slept there on a tiny blanket for 2 weeks. And also the sandflies were crazy, and my leg was looking like I am going to die. But it was still a fun experience. It was very adventurous, and we survived. And then I figured out that I could send money online to a very nice person on the island who we met. And so I sent him money, and he gave it in cash to us, so we could give back the money to the lady, and also we could eat some things finally and drink like some water, and we had money for 1 night or 2 nights of stay in a very nice hostel type situation on the island. And we met with very nice people, and the guy was a traveler, an old traveler from Cali, Colombia, and he gave us a tent that he traveled all across Colombia with. And after that we traveled for 3 full months in Colombia with that tent, and then in Ecuador. So it was an amazing little relic that we got from an old traveler. It was an amazing experience. But there were some situations where we were like, okay, we survived, we are well, but how we are going to go back to the mainland, how we are going to survive. And so I figured out this online way that I can send people money and they could give me cash. And we, at that point, finally, we didn't look like wealthy, like rich tourists. So people, they didn't want money from us anymore. We looked like shit. And after that, we could go back to Cartagena with a boat. It was quite a bit of a ride, but it was very good. And so this was our story of our first full month in Colombia. If you are interested in our other months in Colombia, where we were wild camping all across the country, we were robbed multiple times. It was completely our fault because we were wild camping. What could we expect? If you are interested in all those stories, because there are some very heartwarming stories, like people helped us along the way many times. I also almost became an English teacher with my Eastern European English to a kid in Necoclí, a little town in the Caribbean coast of Colombia, next to Panama. And it is not Capurganá, it is the other side of the bay. If you are interested in these stories, let me know in the comments, because I really love these stories and it was crazy to actually live them. I would never do them again, but they were amazing. Safe travels.